Yes, shit is hitting the fan, and they can't hide it anymore. We are at war, and nowhere is that more apparent, of course, than the Red Sea, between Russia and France. Russia threatening France that if you send troops to Ukraine as you're planning to do, this will bring death and destruction to France. Their words, not mine. So this week, Russia sent a number of massive warships into the Red Sea for the first time. This was in direct response to France. If you want to watch, by the way, how a desperate, failing country drags the rest of us into World War III, look no further than France. President Macron, over the past few weeks, has grown desperate to save France, threatening Russia. Why is he doing this? What's going on here? Well, let's look at Africa and a story that no one is covering. France once owned Africa for generations. France controlled and exploited the vast natural resources of African countries. France is only able to exist as a modern superpower if they're able to plunder uranium, lithium, gold, silver, tin, and all sorts of precious minerals from Africa. If they can't plunder it, then they are finished. More than any other country in the world, France depends on uranium to power their nuclear power plants. Almost 70% of their power comes from nuclear. And all of their uranium is plundered from Niger in Africa. A few years ago, the cracks started to emerge. Coups across former French colonies broke out, most recently, Niger, Congo, and more, saying we're done with France and the puppet governments that you've installed in our countries that rape our country and send cheap minerals to France. Get out of our countries. Let us keep our own minerals.
What people want is to gain back their wealth, back their uranium, their gold, their iron, their phosphate, their oil, their gas. And this scares the West.
You see, all of these resources sit in a very important zone here in Africa, the Sahel region.
Between the vast Sahara Desert and the dense foliage of the African rainforest is a band of semi-arid grassland. Known as the Sahel, the landscape is one of Africa's most productive crop regions.
Last year, these countries said, we need military help in order to stop the French from plundering our uranium. They hired the Russian mercenary group known as the Wagner Group, formerly under the leadership of General Prigozhin. Prigozhin, of course, is now dead. Now, Putin has rolled these Wagner forces into the Russian regular army. They are now Russian forces, and thousands of them are in Africa, in direct opposition to the thousands of French forces that are in the Sahel. France says, we're not here to plunder resources, we're here simply to stop terrorists. Stop terrorists, sure. Niger says, no, you're not. You're here to plunder our resources and install a puppet government. And the people you call terrorists are the ones opposing your illegal occupation of our country. 6 coups in 3 years. Sudan, Chad, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Niger, all to throw off the shackles of French neocolonialism. This region is on fire right now, and France has everything to lose. That's why they are so desperate. That's why Macron is threatening Russia so vehemently right now over the past few weeks, threatening to put French forces in Ukraine. If he does this, Putin has vowed death and destruction to France. France is getting so desperate to survive, they're dragging all of us into a world war. By the way, do you think that this is just going to end with a Baltimore Bridge cyber attack? No, it's not. This is a shot across the bow to the United States. You just helped launch a terrorist attack in Moscow. This is going to descend into chaos if we don't stop it.